The condition of having our energy field contaminated is quite common. However, most people do not know how to identify this, and when they do not know what to do about that. We need to distinguish what comes from ourselves and what is related or due to some contamination of energy, and what strategies we can use. We are going to talk about this in this video. Hello, thank you for being with me. Here we discuss about strategies and techniques to help us take control of our spiritual evolution, but also of our development in the day-to-day life. I have been seeing throughout some decades working with energies with individuals and helping them to learn how to sense and control their energies, cases in which the person is very open to energies that are around and end up like an antenna capturing lots of energy, but do not know how to identify, do not know how to cleanse. Many times this is related simply to a type of sensitivity and to the characteristics of the energy body of the person. The more loosened, the more open the energy body is, the more this is prone to happen. But looseness of the energy body is something positive, is something that helps us, it's healthy energetically speaking. But when we do not identify that different energies are aggregating and stuck in our energy field, then we may have repercussions or results that are undesirable. For example, we may feel drained or tired. We may have invasion of thoughts that we feel are not ours, are very disturbing sometimes and appear in the most improper moments. Sometimes we have emotions that they are not coherent with what we are experiencing or with who we are. We may feel more sensitive to some things, as if we were more fragile to some aspects or some topics, or if may be more aggressive or feeling like we are not exactly like we are in our normal condition. And many people would attribute that to factors that would be, oh, this is just myself and what's going on now. In many cases it is, but not always. Other people will just attribute to, for example, some external influence, like some sort of non-physical being, spirit, that would be producing some intrusion of energy and information on them, and it's contaminating them. Of course, this can happen. But what is more common is that the individual just go walking around, talk to people, remember things, or sometimes work in an area that contacts some individuals with specific energetic characteristics. And then when they are alone or later on, they start feeling that some residue of those energies end up being stuck with them. I did a video some time ago about clairvoyance when we are falling asleep. And there I comment one of the possible repercussions of this, but it's very important to know how to distinguish when it's related to us or when it's related to some sort of external influence. In general, to make it a simple rule, there are two things that we need. One is, of course, to know ourselves enough to identify what sort of a manifestation or problem or type of emotion or feeling is ours because something that happened to us or something we created in our lives, and what sort of emotion we feel in conflict with or a thought or manifestation that we feel something is not quite right, that's not who I am, that's not who I want to be, but it's still that is there hanging with me and makes my life a little bit harder, as if we are fighting against something. Things take a little longer. Of course, we are not under contamination of energies 24 hours per day. There are moments in which we are contaminated. Nonetheless, having said that, some people, those that are mentioned to you that they are too open and too predisposed to contamination, sometimes they end up accumulating. Of course, there is a limit, but they don't know their energies without some sort of contamination of energies, without some sort of foreigner energies attached to them. And this can be quite complicated because then we tell the person, but is this yours or not? The person cannot say, because the person is not so familiar with oneself in a condition that is not under some sort of contamination of energy. But there's another general rule. When it's not possible to identify based on self-knowledge, we can also try to identify and do something about this based on energy awareness, energy technique. And we have to have some sort of energy mindfulness. We will need to identify when those energies are coming close to us. If we cannot, we can identify later. If you notice something is not quite right, or you are not in the condition that you would expect yourself to be or should be, you can start, for example, working with energy. There's a technique that I teach. It's published here in this channel, so you can find it there. But I also have a book about this. It is the Velo technique. Velo technique has several different benefits, but one of the strong ones is that it helps us to concentrate on our own energies and bring it to the level that it's original, it's the most ideal to us. It adjusts the frequency of our energies so that those foreigner energies can no longer stay attached or lingering in our energy field. In this case, then, the Velo would produce some sort of cleansing of our energies. It also, because it cleans, produces this looseness of the energies. But in this case, a healthy looseness, not a pathological one. Healthy, why? Because we are in control of it, we can identify it, and this will actually teach us how to notice sooner when there is some sort of contamination in our energies. If it were the case that what's contaminating us and influencing us is not just energies that are stuck in our energy field, but would be some sort of being, can be a physical person, can be a non-physical person, someone that is in between lives, a spirit, an entity, whatever you call it, but both sometimes can end up influencing us with their energies, with their thoughts, with their intentions. And when it is the case that it's an actual being, a person, we will try to cleanse it, but we will notice we have to struggle much more. And after we cleanse and we feel better, it comes back. And it comes back, which means it's not something that is just there, but it does not have its own will. On the contrary, there is a will behind that sort of energy that is contaminating us. So then we know we need to use different sort of techniques. Always we will do Velo to cleanse ourselves, but we may need to emit energies or do something like this to be able to cleanse and make that non-physical being go away. And if it's a physical person, then we have to see what we do about it, right? Anyway, I hope this helped you and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.